and I just got to check everything on my end before we get started. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to try this again. This is a good one, guys. I have a good one tonight, and why I think this is ready to break. I think there's a confession happening. I'm going to reach deep down inside, and I don't know why I didn't pick up on this yesterday. I'm Sal Capano, your host. We have a good show tonight, so like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, haven't seen me before, well, hop on board. And, why Nancy Guthrie? And who's the porch guy? Who was behind it? But most importantly, I think it's going to break. I think we have a case that's ready to break. And I think you'll be surprised because, in my opinion, I think the person who did this and is going to confess. And the people, plural. All right, it looks like it's working. I just went live, Mike. I didn't see anybody. It had like 30 people on. Now it looks like it's working very good. So come on in. Hey, we have Flinner. Good to see you. Tootsie, good to see you guys. Come on, man. Come on. Let me just recognize and say hello to everybody. We have a good one tonight, guys. You're not going to hear this anywhere else but on here. And I'm telling you guys, we are ready to break this. Not we, but there's a confession. Whoa, what does Sal know that we don't know? Hello, Ozzy Crosby. Come on in, guys. We have a lot to talk about, Nancy Guthrie, guys. I'm telling you guys, we're getting very, very close. Why didn't I pick up on this yesterday? Well, I had other things I was talking about, but as I smoke a cigar, I do my best thinking, and I'm going to talk about nothing you heard on any other station, Sharon. And we are going to get into this in a little bit, Linda. Accidental death. What is Sal talking about? Accidental death. Well, we're going to talk about it. I think a lot of you are smart enough to know where I'm going with this. And the case is ready to break. And when I hear buried in nature, well, what does that mean? Why didn't I pick this up? Buried in nature. My little psychologist came to board here. Buried in nature. What is the perp and the ransom note really saying? Well, you're going to have to come on board, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm also going to talk about Savannah. Savannah today, it's been a couple months since we've heard, and she broke. And I'm telling you right now, guys, she is, before I go any farther, hello, everybody. If you're new to my channel, I'm Sal Capano. Where the hell you been? Come on board. I'm only kidding, guys. We're being deepened into Nancy Guthrie as we are covering a whole lot what's going on in this world crime. Bunny Mom, I hope you're doing well. Now, thank you, Ozzy Crosby. Love you. Love you, my friend. By the way, we are a homeless channel, guys. Please don't take a little time after this live. Not right now. And please share out our homeless videos. Please, 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 guys. As there's a lot going on with homeless right now. I had some sad news on that, some good news. So we'll talk about that towards the end, I promise. All right. First, we're going to talk about Savannah. And I'm going to show it. It's about 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, be patient. Some people haven't seen it. So we're going to listen in to Savannah, and then I'm going to talk about a confession. I know a lot of you are saying, is this clickbait? Not clickbait. I promise you it's not clickbait. I'm telling you a confession is probably coming real soon. But let's watch Savannah. This is Savannah. Today, I believe it was today. Let me just... Whoops.
To ask people to beg people to come forward. Somebody knows something. And this is a news story today that is on your radar, but this is the life that my sister lives, that I live, that my brother lives, that our extended families live, that our children live every day. And we are in agony. And we cannot be at peace. So no matter how much I try to come out here every day and smile and find that joy, and I will, I promise I will. This is a moment to tell you that we need your help. We're begging for your help. And I'm not going to miss that opportunity.
All right. Hold on. I promise we'll go back. We'll play it a couple times. And I apologize showing my backyard here. We're on this vertical live here. And Palon, whoa, thank you guys for the donations. And I appreciate it, guys. I really, really do. All right. We're going to jump into this. This is sad because I'm going to tell you right now. I'm like 99%. This woman, she's hurting. We all know that. She is this close on coming out and saying what she really means. The FBI is telling her, just not yet, please. She knows and feels something. Trust me. Now, What is this confession, barbed wire? Thank you so much. All right, guys. Are you ready? Who's ready? I want everybody to think about it. I don't want to just come out and say it. Let me read this. Buried in nature. Ransom letter number 2. Ransom letter number 2. Buried in nature. Why is TMZ talking about it? Well, they're mad. They're mad at FBI because FBI is not getting back to TMZ because the FBI probably knows a hell of a lot more than nanos and everything else. What that means, guys, is my opinion. Buried by nature. What it really means is this. The person who did this is very close, without mentioning any names, is feeling what? Somebody want to put in the chat? What is this person who did this? What are they feeling right now? What are they feeling? What are they feeling? Before you say who it is, I know I have a thumbnail there. I know I have a thumbnail of Tommaso. What are they really feeling? You know, what are they really feeling? Hello, everybody, and welcome in. I'm Sal Capano. Welcome in. They're feeling relaxed, remorse. What are they feeling? What are they really feeling, guys? Guilt, remorse, sad. Walls are closing in. These are all pretty much the same. Scared. They're feeling sad. I know, Sal. How could they feel sad? Folks, let me just say this. And the person will be spending the rest of their life in prison. And it's going to happen real soon. If this was a random act from Mexico, I'm going to rule that out. Can we rule that out? If this was a random act of burglary, rule that out. But if this was somebody close, perhaps a family member, without mentioning any names tonight, they are feeling hurt. They see Savannah. They see the hurt that's going on. They see everything. They are feeling very immersed, very hurt, very sad. And what can that do to the person? Eventually, they just say enough is enough. And guess what? And I'm asking, we are a small platform of YouTube. Well, we're getting close to 50. If the perp is coming across this, or anybody that knows the perp, meaning a homeless person in Tucson, or anybody who was involved, who was approached money-wise, do the right thing. Turn yourself in. Closure. You will have peace. You will be serving time. You know that already. But I tell you guys, I feel that the words they're saying, buried in nature, they use that in a ransom letter. Buried in nature shows that they actually are feeling the guilt, remorse, guilty. They're feeling bad. Because if this was done by conversation purpose, ladies and gentlemen, if this was done from a wrong house, I'm almost 99% it's not, or some drug cartel, or it was done by somebody who didn't like Savannah because of her show, or jealous of Savannah, or wanted to date Savannah, they wouldn't say these words. Did I lose everybody? They wouldn't write a ransom note saying buried in nature. If they would write a ransom note, it would be something else. And they wouldn't write a ransom note. So I'm starting to believe that one of those 3 ransom notes, because the third one was some guy in California, I believe he was just looking for money. I'm going to rule that out, and he's in jail. Did you guys know that, right? I believe, after I thought about it last night, guys, and I smoked a cigar, and I've been putting all this together, guys, please hit the like and subscribe. This is my opinion. I think it's ready for a confession. And why all of a sudden, in the chat, could somebody explain to me, after a few months, why is Savannah breaking down on the show? Why? You think it's an act? I don't think so. I think these are her friends. These are her co-workers. And she really wants to come out and say, let me be careful, I don't want to cuss. Police, we know who you are. I think she's this close on saying who the hell it is. And I think the FBI is this close on arresting, fill in the blanks, guys. Fill in the blanks. They are this close on arresting somebody very close to the family. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. But you guys can say it. You have all the right to say it. And you can even put alleged. Because this is somebody right now, is starting to feel very hurt, very bad. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, how can that happen, Sal? If somebody does this so bad, why are they feeling guilty? Ladies and gentlemen, because let's just say, I'll use tomatoes. Can we say that? If the tomato is next to Mrs. Tomato, and he sees Mrs. Tomato every day smiling and sad and going to work and asking Tomato every day, will mom come home, and cry? Will mom come home and cry? You see the YouTubers. You see what's going on. You see Chris McDonald. You see they watch the shows, guys. They're not watching my show. Maybe. But they're watching the big YouTube platforms, guys. And you know what? I think this person is ready to break, and I think they're going to finally step up. They're either going to make a mistake and say something to a family member, a friend, or somebody else on the street or at a bar drinking a beer, and they're going to say, it's over. I'm telling you guys, because I'm putting all this together, and I'm saying to myself, Savannah's on TV. Savannah's breaking down. Again, you haven't heard from her. And, you know, again, buried in the nature. They didn't say, well, oh, well, we know where the remains are. They didn't say, well, if you don't send money, then you won't see. They're saying buried in nature, right? And they're giving you clues without thinking about it. See, this is a person that's, when they were writing this letter, and each day that goes by, they're letting you know they feel so bad. Now, could it have been an accidental, unalive death? Sure. Either way, and I'm going to read the comments, and thank you for listening. Whether it was an accidental death, it could have been. Either way, the person will be serving the rest of their life, and he or she and those involved, we talked about this last night. You guys can go back and watch my live last night. I'm not looking for views. I'll just say this. We went over a whole lot on Chris McDonald and the park and homeless and drug dealers, and people are desperate. But here's my thing. If a family member or somebody close to the family offered money to the perp, and the person to do this horrible thing to this beautiful lady, I don't think it was a lot of money. Homeless people, drug dealers, drug users, people that are just mentally disturbed, they will do things for $500, $1,000, and I know a lot of these they probably lost. What do you? Isn't that sad, Sal? Why? How could somebody be a human being? Because, folks, and I'm not defending them, they have addictions, and I believe that person is probably not feeling the guilt. That person's probably out there high on something most of the time, and then the only way they're going to confess, if old school detective works, like Chris McDonald said, that's one way that this case will break. But I don't think that's going to break. I think how it's going to break is going to be because the person or people, plural, who did this, one of the two or three or two, are going to feel so bad because they see the person they love each day being hurt. And either they're going to say, confessed with this. Here's what they're going to say. I was 100% involved. Or they're going to say, I was not involved, but I fill in the blanks. But I fill in the blanks. But I fill in the blanks, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I feel this is going to happen real soon, folks, because all of a sudden you have TMZ and Harvey coming out. All of a sudden you have Savannah breaking. Very sad to watch. And all of a sudden now these random letters are all of a sudden being talked about. Why? TMZ's bringing it up? No, because there's some heat between the FBI and TMZ. Because TMZ, they're looking for ratings. Let's be honest on my live. Can we just be honest? They're looking for ratings. TMZ makes a lot of money. They offer to pay the ransom. Why? They offer to pay because do they care about Nancy Guthrie? Maybe. They're human, right? Maybe they have a heart. We all have a heart. But what's the real reason? Ratings, folks. Money, 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 folks. I know it's horrible. And the FBI is not communicating with TMZ. Did I lose everybody? Because FBI can't. Because they know they are this close. They are this close on breaking the case because they're waiting for that final DNA. And they are keeping the suspects very close. Forget about nanos right now, guys. Forget about Pima County. We know that they're in Italian Scazziati, which they're full of shit. They're all in bed with each other. Let's put that aside. This is going to be broken by the FBI, by the person of guilt, remorse. Sad. That's my thoughts. What's your thoughts on this, guys? Because there's too much coincidence happening as of late. Too much is developing as we're getting close to 5 months into Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. Why Nancy Guthrie? Why? And where is Nancy? In the nature. Nature. Very close. Not far away, guys. Very close. Remember me saying that. Very close. All right, now with that said, I'm going to read some comments and get some water. I want to welcome, good to see you, Flinter. I hope everybody's doing well. Always for money. Excuse me. 90% of the time, it's money, 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 whatever way you look at it. Whether it's a kidnapping case, whether it's a wife throwing a husband overboard, or whatever. Most of the time, these cases on homicide are about fuzzles, money, bread. What it comes down to. And I'm telling you right now, I've been thinking about it, and I can be 100% wrong. But I don't think I am, guys. Not by reading these letters. Sharon, thank you so much. And Sharon, I appreciate your being on these lives. Thank you so much each and every night, spending some time with us. Thank you so much. Green Cat, welcome in. Appreciate you guys. Maribeth, welcome in. Love of money, root of all evil. My grandma would say that a million times, Maribeth. The kidnapping happened at the dinner table, and they paid the sheriff, I quote this by Flinter, but failed to pay the deputy, a California Bitcoin dude. Setup sound. Whoa, these are great comments. Guys, these are really good comments. Andy's coming. Paylon, welcome in, and thank you for the prayers. Yeah, it's my perspective, guys. It really is. And I watched Chris McDonald, and I apologize, guys. I wanted to come on earlier, but, I work with the homeless people. I had a lot of stuff going on today, helping out the homeless, and I just walked in the house, an hour and a half ago, literally, and just I do my best thinking when I smoke a cigar, one of my bad habits, and I'm thinking and watching Savannah, and I'm saying, geez, why didn't I see this yesterday? Hey, I want to say hello to Mike. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. So, what I'm going to do, I'll probably show this a few times. I'm going to show this one more time if you guys don't mind. One second, guys. Let me see if I can get this to place. I know a lot of you maybe missed it. Boy, I had that close to my big nose. Man, that nose is getting big. All right, I just set myself up for the trolls. Let me see here. All right, hold on.
It's for our family, for our children. And we love our mom, and we'll never stop looking for her. Never.
To your point, if you have any information, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you have any information at all,
1-800-CALL-FBI. There you go. What's it say?
This family fund.
What's that say?
A modicum of peace. The phone number's right there on your screen. 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right. That's what it says. It doesn't say 1-800-CALL Pima County. Yes or no, Sir Daniel? Thank you so much. Thank you. It says call FBI. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, guys, and I'm sorry, I just want to get this. I'm gonna have to show this again in a second here. I got another. Okay, let me put this down. Hey, welcome in. So, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Savannah today comes out upset, hurting, mad, and for me, is it me, guys? Yes or no? Please disagree. I love you either way. A lot of you know me already. You've been with me for a long time. Some of you maybe don't know me. If you watch that video, and I'm going to play it again, it's almost like I know. She knows in her heart. She knows in her heart, and I think, and I could be wrong, ladies and gentlemen, that the FBI is talking to all the family, but they keep their friends close and their enemies closer. So they're keeping Savannah close and communicating with Savannah. But let me tell you, they're really communicating more, in my opinion, with the brother, Annie, and Tommaso. Okay, this is the way they work. Okay, I know this because I have a lot of FBI friends, and and this is they work. So they're speaking to the, and then I think they're going back to Savannah. I think the words that they're utilizing, I hope I'm not losing you guys. The words that you're using with Savannah are words like, how was your relationship with your sister on the last year? How was your relationship with your sister 6 months ago? How is your relationship with your sister now? By the way, have you talked to your son-in-law? How's your brother? How are you holding up? These are the words they're using, and they're almost telling Savannah without telling her because they can't. Why? Because Tommaso and Annie are innocent because they passed the lie detector from Pima County. But they are waiting for the lab. But I think before the lab comes back and the blood and the DNA comes back, in my opinion, you're going to have a break in this case. And I think somebody, without saying, in the family, is going to confess. They're either going to confess and say, you know what, I know who it is, or they're going to say, I'm sorry, without saying I'm sorry, or ladies and gentlemen, they're going to say, yes, we picked somebody out on the streets, at the park, somebody. We didn't do it. We even told them not to do it. They're going to do some language like that to try to get a plea bargain. So I smell a rat in this. I smell a case going to break, and I hope it does for Savannah, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, that woman is hurting. That woman, Savannah, I would say is 100%. I know I said 99% not involved. She is bleeding inside. She's hurting. She's working to, it's because she has money. She's trying to keep her mind going. We don't know her bill. That lady's trying to get by. If they don't turn themselves in, Savannah is going to break it wide open. She will come out. She cannot hold back anymore, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way. She can't. Somebody is going to come out. And if the perp is watching this video, or anybody that is involved or knows something in Pima County or anywhere else in the world or states, maybe you don't live in Pima County anymore. Do the right thing, my friend. Do the right thing. Call in and let the authorities call 1-800-FBI and let them know who was behind this. Okay? So Porch Guy, maybe Porch Guy, if you're listening, maybe you didn't do anything. Maybe you just came up. Maybe you thought about it. And you didn't do anything. Maybe you drove up. Maybe you were ready. Do the right thing. Let the authorities know who put you behind it. Who was the waiter? Who orchestrated this? Who was the person who told you? And if you have a friend who helped you out and drive there, do the right thing. Do it. You can live a little bit better with yourself. Thank you. All right, now I'm going to jump into the comments, guys. That's my opinion. Aaron Smith, God bless you. How are you? Guys, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's almost 5 months. 5 months. Hello, Angel. How are you? Good to see you. Just ignore some of the spams, guys, and the trolls, you know. And by the way, everybody has their own opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But we're in close to 5 months, and for Savannah to be coming out publicly today on her show for about 2 minutes and talking and breaking down again, and all these ransom notes now all being talked about again after 4.5 months, right? They didn't go to sleep. There's something ready to happen, right? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet everybody. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate you liking and subscribing. That's also going to break soon, Aaron Smith. Without getting into it on this live, I don't want to, like, turn direction, but I will respond because I love you, Aaron Smith. Yes, I think it's going to break. That's also going to break real soon. That's all I'm going to say. All I can say is stay tuned for Thursday because we're going to talk about, unless something breaks with Nancy Guthrie, we're going to be talking about situation developing in Iran and the war. That's all I'm going to say on that, okay? Now, I got to get some water, man. This is not going to go on, folks, too much longer, okay? It will not. Will not. Buried in nature. Buried in nature. Didn't say buried in the woods, right? It didn't say buried in the woods. It wouldn't say buried in a desert, right? Well, that would be, well, too obvious, right? But if they say bury in nature, flowers, you know, Nancy Guthrie loved flowers. She loved her nature. Think about this, folks. If a lot of you come on in, if you don't, I want to remind everybody about Nancy Guthrie. She loved living in the foothills, I believe it was called, in Tucson. Well, number one, she loved that beautiful view. I haven't been there, but by all the streamers. She loved the view. She loved bobcats, and she loved nature. She loved nature. She loved nature. Remember what I just said. JLR is in Key West because he received a death threat after raising money for Alex, Tucson, and the Jews. That's sad. That's very sad, Sharon. And, you know, I have my thoughts on who it is. And they think they're a real tough guy. They're not a tough guy. And I've been threatened. I've been threatened, not from this case, but I talk, you know, talking politics. And a lot of you who met me, I welcome everybody from everywhere. A lot of you know who I voted for. Doesn't mean that I, you know, support them every day. But let me get to my point. I've been threatening. They can threaten me all they want. Who they can't threat is my wife and my kids where they sleep. And my mom, may she rest in peace. They even threatened my mom and found out her phone number. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, these people most of the time are all talk. They hide behind their little cameras, right? Their phone, their laptops. They're lost. I feel sorry for them. I pray for those people. And they're not tough. They're not tough at all. It's a shame. I feel sorry for JLR. I'll reach out to him. And that he has to remove himself from the state he lives in without saying it. A lot of you know what state. And to go to another part or, you know, of a state because of these threats. That draws the line. When they threaten you and your family because of a case or donations, you know, and a lot of you don't know, JLR donated out of his pocket, $500 to each of the streamers. Okay? That's $1,500. Now, before you guys say anything, I'll beat you to, oh, well, he has it. That's money that he has, you know, to support himself. Oh, he gets a lot of donations. Good. He deserves it. He puts a lot of effort in, guys. You know, these lives, you know, they're not easy. You know, he loves what he does. And I'm just going to say this. If anybody loves what you do, you're going to do well in life. Now, with that said, that's sad. That's very sad. Yeah, he'll be fine. He's a smart guy. And I'm sure JLR will have the authorities looking at this. And the person or people who did these threats to him, who I have a feeling, without even talking to JLR and stuff that's going around the internet, without saying the person's name, not because I'm scared at all, because I will say his name real soon, not tonight. They'll be dealt with. And they will be arrested and back to prison. No doubt. No doubt. Okay, let's move on. So what's the topic? And I apologize, but we're just going over. I get mad when people get threatened. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie and why I think a couple things. Savannah broke down today on today's show just to bring in new audiences coming in, and we got off the topic a little bit. So on fairness and what's the word mean when ransom note number 2, I quote from whoever did this, says buried. Hey, Ardle. Buried in nature. They didn't say buried in the desert. They didn't say buried in the woods. Okay? They say buried in nature. For me, they're referring to somebody who really kind of, at one time, at one point, loved Nancy Guthrie. They loved her. Why do people flip and things happen? Well, we don't know. And unfortunately, I thought we were coming close on studying why people do these horrific things. But between me and you guys, more times than none, it's about money, money, money. And I feel that the perp or the person that who was the waiter, as Chris McDonald would say, I'll steal his line. Hopefully that's okay. I like the waiter instead of the kingpin. The waiter sounds more, I guess, more professional. They're feeling bad. They're feeling very hurt. They're feeling very lost. They're seeing their loved ones go through this. And yes, occasionally, not all the time, when people do these horrific acts, either they do one of 3 things. Number 1 is this. They, for YouTube, I got to say this word. Are you ready? They unalive themselves. They unalive themselves. That's number 1. You see it a lot. You see it on assassination attempts. You see it on a lot of things, right? And number 2, right? They normally can't live with themselves. Number 3, they do it again. Okay, my little psychology. So, they haven't done it again, thank God, and I don't think they will, okay, because I think this was a one-person event because of money. I think you can rule out, I pray they don't do it again, and they haven't unalived themselves, at least yet. I hope they don't. You know why I hope they don't? Because that's the coward way, and I hope these people pay every hour, every minute, every hour, every day that goes by, and suffer behind bars and never see daylight again. And so that's my opinion, guys. And I'm sorry we got off topic there, but it hurts me when other streamers are getting threatened. All right, let me move on here. I want to say hello to Natalie Hopkins. Natalie, good to see you, my friend. And guys, if there's anybody on here that you don't like what they're saying or they're trolling the station, you know, just let me know, and then we will remove them. Now, it's one thing if somebody's disturbing the chat. Another thing if somebody's disagreeing. Disagreeing is great. We love disagreements, right? But being rude and threats, we won't tolerate. So let's move on here. Let's read this comment here. Unless they are a serial killer and only in it for the thrill and the hunt. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, good comments, guys. And I'm not just saying it. Some great comments, some good comments, some comments I disagree, but they're all good comments. You know? All. You're right. Woods is part, but they didn't use the words woods. Yes or no? They didn't say woods. Okay, they didn't say trees. Okay, it's just my opinion. But you're right. I'm not going to debate with you on that. They didn't say trees. They didn't say large trees. They didn't say nature in the woods. Okay, buried in nature. And Nancy, and Savannah have spoken about nature, that her mom loved the nature of the foothills of Tucson. She also liked bobcats. She liked the nature of the mountain, the beautiful sunsets. Have you guys seen the beautiful sunsets? Vegas has a great sunset, but it looks like Tucson is right there with Las Vegas. And, you know, Hawaii and some other places. But she's out in the wilderness. That's right. There you go. They didn't say, thank you, Palon, out in the wilderness. Wow. Thank you. That's right. That's right. That's a good one. Wild Wavy, how are you? Culture Language. Sal, still supporting the tan. Yeah, guys, I'm out in the streets. You know, yeah. And I'm out there, you know, handing out food and, you know, and then I have a pool, this, that, whatever. So yeah, I get too much sun and I gotta really calm down on that. We're better protection. Buried at sea, aka water is included in nature. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Sal, you're buffering. Oh, am I, Renee? Hey, welcome in, Renee. I don't know if I said hello to you. I've been really trying to get this out. Am I buffering a little bit? Oh, is it okay? So, hey, anyhow, Renee, thank you, and I appreciate you being here. I know I missed a lot of you guys. Please never take it personal. I really wanted to try to get this out there, and I don't know how much this means, but again, I really think, and with Chris McDonald, did anybody watch the interview room this evening? Did you guys watch part 2? Anybody? I only watched 20 minutes of it. Anybody? Whiskey Tango, thank you so much. Hey, thank you guys for these donations. I really appreciate the 110 likes and you guys sharing out these videos and the short videos. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all, and thank you so much. Sir Daniel, I didn't say hello to, and I want to read your comment. My opinion is because they did say nature. Not many people in Arizona would refer to the desert as nature. They would refer as a desert. Yes, but I think it would be, Sir Daniel, and that's a great comment, if they made it the obvious and said buried in desert, then, whoa, that's pretty cool. Palon, I haven't seen that yet. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. That was really, really, really special. Thank you so much, Palonis. Thank you. So what was I saying? Oh, Sir Daniel, I think if they would have said buried in desert, it would be like, okay, now they really got their attention. Do you guys, I think Dustin Nunez, hello. I think they wanted to make, they're feeling bad, but they didn't want to make it. Yeah, remember, these letters were written back around the first week or two, and now they're coming out. So I think what happened was, I think each day, each hour, each day, each week, each month, can you believe we're saying months, plural? I think each time it goes by, the person, that did this is feeling very bad. And I'm sure they watched Chris McDonald, and I'm positively they watched it, even if they watched 30 minutes of it, and they're getting very scared. And all of a sudden, Savannah comes out and talks after Chris McDonald talks yesterday. Interesting, huh? Just makes you wonder. Is it all coincidence? Yes or no in the chat. Is it all coincidence that TMZ comes out, Harvey, Brian Hinton comes out, Chris McDonald plays a Sunday night, a 2-hour live, and then tonight, and then Savannah speaks earlier today on today's show? I don't know. I don't think it's coincidence, in my view. All right, it's time for a cigar. Case Bill. Yeah, this is, guys, it's just, you try to get in, you got to get inside, like Chris McDonald did last night, or today and Sunday. He's a retired, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, it's great. Interview room. You got to get inside the person who did this, the person who murdered or was involved in homicide. You got to try to get inside their head and think, okay, why did they use these words? Why is Savannah speaking? You know, and then you got to make you wonder, you know, is the FBI speaking a little bit more now to Savannah? Because you keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Well, the FBI does the same thing. And we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I'm only giving you my view and what I hear from FBI that I talk to. And I really think they're talking to them probably twice a week. The FBI is talking to all the siblings twice a week. And they're probably starting to talk to Savannah a little bit more now. And for me, watching her in that 1 minute, it shows that she is so pissed. She's mad. Victor, how are you? Good to see you. She's upset. Should we watch it again? Let's watch it again. I'll watch it one last time. One more time. Wish me luck on this, guys. Let's see.
You know something?
Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, was last seen alive at her Tucson home the night of January 31st. An email to Tucson media outlets and TMZ on February 2nd demanded a $4 million ransom for Nancy Guthrie's return. And law enforcement authorities believe that first email was from her mother's kidnappers, and so was the next one. According to a news report on February 6th, the message said Nancy Guthrie had died inadvertently and offered the possibility that her body could be returned for a price.
And this is a news story today that is on your radar. We're begging for your help, and I'm not going to miss that opportunity. And so please, if you're watching,
Yes.
please do the right thing for us, for our family, for our children. And we love our mom. And
Please do the right thing. Please. Please do the right thing. Is she talking to a stranger? Is she talking to her siblings? Is she talking to her brother-in-law? Is she talking to a street person? Who is Savannah really talking to in the chat?
Is now back to square one, poring over all emails and
Tears of
messages for clues about who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie.
I want to also, that's not really what I wanted to watch, but I'm glad we've seen that. That was pretty, I want to get back to, all right, here it is. I think this is it here. Hold on, guys. Give me a second here. Yeah, this is what I want.
Done this job every day since that happened. Nothing short of remarkable.
This was
Nothing short
today.
of remarkable.
I love you guys, and I love this place, and this is unusual and unprecedented, to say the least, to be sitting here. But, you know, I don't have any comment on the story, and I'm not
All right, hold on.
coverage.
I have no comment. Look at her face. Let me make it bigger. Hold on. Look at her face, guys. That shows everything. I have no comment on this case. Look how she closes her eyes, tilts her head. To me, she wants to come out and say what she really means. You guys can fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks.
And so since I am, I wanted to just take the opportunity to ask people to beg people to come forward. Somebody knows something. And this is a news story today that is on your radar. But
Whoa,
this is
a new story today. I want you guys, let's not miss these words. A new story today. Okay? A new story today. That's telling me she heard something new today. Yes or no, guys? Or am I a new story today? Something new that she was told by the authorities of the FBI. Yes or no in the chat?
Live, that our children live every day. And we are in agony. And we cannot be at peace. So no matter how much I try to come out here every day and smile and find that joy, and I will, I promise I will. This is a moment to tell you that we need your help. We're begging for your help. And I'm not gonna miss that opportunity. And so please, if you're watching,
Yes.
no matter how small, the reward is there. You can tell us. It can be anonymous. Please do the right thing for us, for our family, for our children. And we love our mom, and we'll never stop looking for her. Never.
To your point, if you have any information, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you have any information at all that could help investigators and could help this family find.
Yeah, it chokes you up a little bit, guys. I mean, if you're not choking up by that, man, that's pretty bad. So did I lose everybody? I know my internet out here it just sucks, and it looks like we're back, right? So a new story today that tells me a couple things. Something developed yesterday, okay, and it wasn't just Chris McDonald, with all due respect. Okay, a new story today is from the FBI. The FBI is telling Savannah in some words, hints on where they're at on this case. For her, in my view, to come out and with her coworkers to have, I wouldn't say it was a breakdown, but a breakdown, like not a breakdown, but, and for me, she was pretty close on saying things that she probably can't say for obvious reasons. So if you're just coming and we're discussing that, as well as who really did this, and are they coming out on guilt, and is it a family member, not Savannah, is it somebody very close to the family, and who is the waiter, as Chris McDonald would say, who put this terrible kidnap, murder together? And are they starting to finally feel sad? Are they finally starting to feel terrible with themselves? They can't go on living with themselves on doing such horrific act like they did. And that's what I'm thinking. And I think the person is still alive. I think this person is hurting and are having trouble continuing to function, to shower, to work. And a lot of people might disagree with me on here. A lot of people might say, well, if they did something like this, they're not human. Well, we're all humans. What happens? Why do people flip? Why do people do these horrific things? Why do people hurt kids? Why do people hurt elderlies? Why are people in domestic violence? Why do people torture people? But you'd be surprised on how many people confess. They might confess in a bar. They might confess without confessing. And I think the words they did in that ransom note, if they're the FBI, I think they are putting that together. If I'm putting this together, I'm sure the FBI, who have a hell of a lot of skills, are put this together. Yes or no? I hope so. Yeah, that's sad to see. She's suffering. Imagine, folks, a lot of us on here have lost our mom, our grandmoms, our fathers, our spouse. And I pray and give you strength. I just lost my mom, brother, and it's tough. And what do? You go on. But imagine your mom being kidnapped and hoping that she'd be returned in the first week. And then each week that goes by, each day, week goes by, and you hear things, you watch things. They watch YouTube. They watch Chris McDonald, there's no doubt, because he's respect. I mean, he's been in law enforcement. And the other channels, JLR. And imagine the FBI whispering in your ear and almost telling you who it is. And unexpectedly, imagine, I'm only saying allegedly, we don't know for sure, they are 100% innocent, the brother-in-law and sister and the sister. But imagine if this turned out to be her loved ones that did this. I'm kind of hoping it's not, folks. I'm kind of hoping it's not, because I don't know how. God be with her. God be with Savannah. All right. Every day, Linda. I just lost mine in October 26. And they always say when you lose your mom, lost my father too. Both are important, but yeah. But imagine knowing it's somebody that's related to you, family-wise. Wow. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Jerry Newton. Welcome in. Palon, you've been saying it from almost day one. Inside job. Yes, you have. You brought it through the chat. Inside job. How many else think you agree with Palonis 213 that this is a possibility of an inside job? Anybody else? Inside job? And hired a few people? I'll add on to that. Kim says, yep. Yep. R. Curtis, welcome in, says yes. Angel says yes. Renee Smith, agree. Susan says yes. Alan says no. So we have a no. I'm sure we're going to have a couple other no's. 50-50. 50-50. Couple more yeses. Amber, how are you, Amber? Yes. James, how are you, James? Todd, good to see you. Definitely an inside job. James says definitely. Anybody on here retired law, police officer, SWAT? Anybody on here worked security guard, prison guard? Any doctors on here? Retired doctors? Psychologists? Like to hear from you. Call in. Want to call and talk? I like to hear the professionals. Retired police officer. You can be anonymous. You can call me on a restricted line. But I like to hear from you. Just so the chat can hear your perspective. Doctors, psychiatrists, counselors, or anybody. But we're only talking about Nancy Guthrie, nothing else. All right, I want to stick with Nancy Guthrie. If we could, thank you. Oh, yeah, anybody having a cigar, enjoy it. Have a cigar with me. How's the Cabagol? The Cabagol is finished. My cholesterol's off the roof. They told me to lay off the Cabagol. Cabagol everywhere. Now, anybody want to put this in for me? What is this? We don't need mods to do it. I think anybody can do it. Let me see here. I want to put the phone number in here. Maybe I can do it myself. Hold on. Okay. 702-447-9027. That's 702-447-9027. I'm going to try to put it in. So give me about 3 minutes, guys. You guys can chit-chat. No, it's not working. All right. Guys, hear the wind? Windy here in Las Vegas. So yeah, 702, I'll just repeat it slowly. 702-447-9027. Anybody wants to, don't be shy, call in. 702-447-9027. Anybody want to call in and give your perspective? There's anything you want to say that get off your chest, something that I haven't heard or anybody hasn't heard, inside job. What does buried in nature really mean? Do you agree, disagree? Are we getting real close? Did Chris McDonald open this case up? Did TMZ open this case up? JLR and some of the YouTubers that have been there, are they opening this case? Oh, absolutely. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Jared.
All right, you came in on an unknown number, which is okay. I just want to make sure it's a real call. So where are you calling in from?
Kelly.
Okay, do you have anything you want to say about this case?
Yeah. So I'm well known in law enforcement.
Okay. I'm sorry I hesitated. I just wanted to make sure. Can I ask you, I don't want to intimidate you. How old are you?
38.
Okay. And what's your first name again?
Jared.
Jared. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure we had a real call. I get a lot of, this, that, whatever. Go ahead, continue. So you're a law, you are retired?
No.
No. Okay, go ahead, continue. What's your thoughts?
Say that again?
What's your thoughts on Nancy Guthrie's case? What's your thoughts on?
So,
Go ahead.
so technically speaking, right?
Mhm.
So on cases like this, yes, local law enforcement should be getting involved. They're usually the ones to first respond to it, right? However, when FBI gets involved,
Go ahead, I'm listening. Hello? I think we lost that call. Law enforcement calling in and call back, Jared. Call back. We had some. It's windy. I don't know if it was your end, my end. I had a feeling that was going to be a good call too. So try calling back. I apologize. It's a little windy in Las Vegas, but I think you were on to something that we wanted to hear. So try calling back in. I'm sure the chat would love to hear your perspective on. I think you were alluding to FBI, and we got cut off. So we'd love to hear from you. Your number's unknown, so don't worry about it. I will not have your number. And, but continue. Call back in, and hopefully you can get through. We got a storm ready to hit Las Vegas, so I don't know if that knocked out the Wi-Fi. Anybody else? Anybody else while we wait for that caller to call back in? Anybody else want to call in? Anybody former law or in law enforcement? You could be anonymous, unknown. I will not have your number. You're just giving your perspective. You don't even have to say, if you're serious, you don't even have to say which city or state. I just like to hear from anybody just to give us your perspective and where we're at in this case. We are covering Nancy Guthrie for almost 5 months, and I'm just giving you a little bit of my psychology on my thoughts, but love to hear from any other callers. Again, the ransom note, and I quote, says buried in nature. What does it mean? Guilt, sorry, ready to break, accidental death, buried, using the words buried. And I want to add on, who did the porch guy work for? Who was the waiter? Who did the porch guy work for? Or the porch guy didn't work for anybody. But I can tell you this, guys, the more I watch the porch guy did not care. the porch guy did not care about getting caught, and the porch guy was not his first rodeo, okay? That porch guy has done similar events, robberies, approach homes before. That was not his first time. Yes or no in the chat, do you think that was the porch guy with the plants, with the camera, hunching back? Was that his first time doing something like this? Boy, that call. I wish we could have continued with that call. All right, maybe they wanted to hang up. I don't know. All right, we're going to move on. You want to call in? Kissington. Kissing the dream. Kissing the dream. You call in. Anybody can call in. Any doctors on here? Any nurse? CSI? The number? Yeah, hold on. Let me just do this. I'm going to change up things, guys. I have to. I was told to change something up, so hold on. Okay, so here's the number to call in right now. All right, ready? Kissing the dream. 702. That's the area code. 702-447-9027. Again, that's 702-447-9027. I ask to keep your TV down and your telephone down, and it will make things work a little easier. Again, 702-447-9027. Like to hear from anybody who's retired law enforcement, doctor, nurse, CSI, or you're still in law enforcement and be anonymous. Are we getting close? Or is there a break in this case? I'm reading that. Natasha, great to see you, my friend. Whoa. You are, I like to talk to you, Natasha. Call in, Natasha, next. Hello, what's your name and where you calling in from?
Hey, yourself, baby. This is Mike. Well, hey, I'm kissing the dream, actually, And I'm calling here on the East Coast. I'm in South Carolina right now.
Okay.
And here's my perspective on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if she even went home that night because, the garage, I think that was all set up because the garage door went up for 2 minutes. It takes 30 seconds for it to go up and to go down. But another thing is, when they were saying about her being with nature, it made me think that they probably burned her.
Interesting.
That's what I'm thinking there, Sal.
Interesting. Got it. Whoa.
And
Right.
And again, I appreciate you taking my call. I listen to you a lot there. I like your program there. You're a good guy there, Sal. Thanks very much. I enjoy the cigar and Suburban, and that's why I call in to tell you hello.
Well, thank you, Mike. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. And by the way, real quick, I also agree I also agree about the garage and that she never made it back home. I'm with you 100,000% on that. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, it looks like to me there's multiple parts to that, and without saying names or something, it looks like to me what I think is that somebody put the body in the vehicle perhaps and maybe went back over there later to do a cleanup job or something because they said the pacemaker disconnected. So I'm thinking if it runs off of Bluetooth, then what they did was they had all her watches or whatever, and they kept her in the car and went in there and done their thing. And when they left, that's when it disconnected because they said the pacemaker was very erratic. So that's what made me kind of think that hey, she may have been in one of the clouds or something they were using.
Interesting.
So
wow, what a perspective. Wow, great call, Mike.
Anyway,
yeah,
I won't keep you. I'll let you get the other guys there. But again, Sal, thank you very much, and I'll be listening to you.
Thank you for appreciate it. Wow, interesting. Wow, what a great call. What do you guys think? Burn, being with nature, never made it in the house. Natasha, you still on? I want to go back. And Victor, I want to say thank you to Victor for putting a number in 702-447-9027. Appreciate Victor. And then Natasha had a great comment. I wish I could. Oh, it is. Here we go. What does the ransom note look like? This is from Natasha. We love Natasha. I love that name. And like printing, writing, and proper spelling. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Who else? Anybody else want to call in? Any police officers? Former police officers? CSI? Be anonymous. Call unknown. Psychiatrists? Doctors? Nurse? Or anybody who's been following this case from day one? Something we haven't heard of yet, or something I haven't heard of yet. Okay, you're calling in unknown. So what's your name and where are you calling in from?
This is Jared, call disconnected.
Oh, thanks for calling back. I appreciate it, Jared. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably on my end. Go ahead.
So, what we were getting to is, yes, local law enforcement is going to be the first to respond, but typically what it is, once the FBI gets involved, it now becomes a federal, and they should have taken priority over the entire situation. Okay?
Right.
Now, let's really go over and look at everything right now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
From day one, the brother-in-law, supposedly and allegedly, was the last one to see her.
And by the way, thank you for
Dropped
saying
off at the
allegedly.
house.
Thank you for saying allegedly. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Correct. They were, according to reports and allegations, they were all at a family dinner. The brother-in-law was the one that dropped her off at the house. And moments later, someone comes across the camera and knew exactly what he was doing, knew that she was still going to be awake, possibly, and tried to hide his face, didn't, but knew almost where everything was in the house.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
I'm listening. I'm just listening and taking it in.
looking at it, right, from experience in law enforcement and all that, it's typically someone that knows the individual really well. Okay?
Right.
Now, me personally, all the evidence points to the brother-in-law because you know exactly where the camera's at. You know that she has one. If you look at all of the other house-related alleged crimes, okay, they're not going to cover up a camera, or at least attempt and try to.
Right.
He did. And he knew exactly where that doorbell camera was. He knew exactly where the connection was with the electrical box not far from there.
Right.
He knew to rip the cameras off. He knew there was one in the backyard because that came up missing. Then propped the door open. You see what I'm saying?
And can I just add one
local
more?
law
Can I add one more thing on? They knew the address, if you know where I'm going at. You and me in law enforcement, they knew the address, if you know what I mean. That's a dark area. If you've been watching streamers, I don't know if you have. I have not been there, but it's very dark. Meaning, why that house? Why they picked 000 that house? Right? They knew the address.
And not only that, yes.
Yes?
That is correct.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
It is a secluded area, a gated community, an expensive home, dark. I mean, you can't even see the house if there was like 2 street lights on the street.
Right.
And not only that, why would it be a public figure relative?
Bingo.
see what I'm saying?
So with that,
So-
yes, I do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So local law enforcement ruined the investigation by one, not turning over seniority or the investigation over to the FBI. Two, they went through everything without proper procedures. Okay?
Mhm.
Without no coverings on their shoes, without proper glove work. Number one, they decided to comb through everything without putting tape up first
Right.
to block off the area. But it also doesn't make sense looking at it and studying the case and reading reports and allegedly hearing these notes come out. They shouldn't have to continuously go back to the house numerous times to retrace their steps.
Interesting.
Gloves were found. All of a sudden that it doesn't fit. Supposedly it was a jogger's glove, but it's kind of interesting because the glove they found was a latex glove.
Right.
The same glove that law enforcement uses.
Whoa. 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 You sound like
So
you're.
Go
ahead.
Why would a jogger be wearing a latex glove? A nitrile glove?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, yeah. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I
now
do.
They're sitting here saying that they don't have no DNA evidence. They don't have no fingerprinting evidence. They don't have... It's not hard for what... If you have someone's eyes on a camera, you can identify that person through a computer analysis of exactly who that is.
But let me ask you
But
this.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But what I've studied and done some law enforcement that I smoke cigars with, they can't remove the mask. Is that incorrect? They can't just, like with our AI system, like remove that mask and, better words, put that description in face. We don't have that technology as of yet. Correct?
They can.
They can.
There are things that law enforcement, regardless of what it is, that regular citizens don't have, nor do they have access to.
Got it. Got it.
You see what I'm saying? That's why
Yes.
they have different areas of law enforcement. There's like over 15, 16 different departments in just a regular law enforcement.
So I'm going to say, because I don't want to put you on the spot, even though you're anonymous, are we thinking that we know how many great doctors, I'm a personal trainer, great personal trainers, and thank you for your service, by the way, each and every day, sacrificing your life. Are we talking about a possibility, I'm going to say this, a sheriff or law enforcement out there that's turning their head the other way, in some words? Are we talking, is that a possibility when you say latex gloves, and what are we thinking here? Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility, but not likely.
Okay.
Okay. It could be somewhere along the lines of putting the case off.
Okay.
Again, it all points to the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
It all points to the brother-in-law. It's kind of funny how they allegedly said that they questioned the family members and then excluded them as potential suspects.
Right. And just to help out the chat here real quick, and I'm sure you know, they did pass, and I say they, Annie, the daughter, beautiful daughter, and the son-in-law Tommaso, they did pass the pathological, they did pass that test. But would you explain to the audience that there's pathological liars, and there's also people that are innocent that fail the test? Is that correct, or would that be incorrect?
It is correct. However, it's not hard to pass a polygraph.
Got it.
It's not hard at all.
Okay.
If you are experienced with controlling your body movements, controlling your breathing, if you are experienced with controlling your heart rate
Right.
amongst 4 to 7 other different possibilities that you can do, it's not hard to pass a polygraph in every way, shape, or form.
Wow. Got it. Wow. Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, looking back.
Somebody just said in the
Right.
chat heart rate as well. I just wanted to read the chat and bring that up. Somebody just said heart rate. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it again. It's like the dude knew where everything was. He waited a couple hours, few hours at most. Showed back up at the house. Knew exactly where to go, pretty much, and knew exactly what not to take.
Exactly.
You know, like. Then law enforcement goes back to the house. Now they got to go through the backyard. And then all of a sudden, now the back door is open.
Right. Let me ask you this, and hold that thought, please. Do you think that this is a person allegedly, for conversation purpose, Tommaso, if he's involved, do you think that was him, or did he go and approach somebody, and why would somebody do this for money? And my next question, I hope I'm not throwing too much, how much you think he was paid, if what I'm saying is on to something? So the first question is, you think that was Tommaso, the masked man? Second, if it isn't him, did he approach a homeless, a drug dealer, a drug user, or etc.? What's your thoughts on that, real brief?
Can you repeat?
Okay.
A little bit of that?
For conversation's purpose, allegedly, so say it's Tommaso who's involved. Do you think he would actually carry that out as far as being the porch man and doing that little stuff with the plants and all, or did he go ahead and pay somebody off, a drug user? You know, people do crazy things for money, right? For the next high, their next whatever it might be. Do you think it was Tommaso at the door? And if not, do you think he approached a homeless, a drug user, or somebody who was desperate?
I would lean more towards the brother-in-law.
Okay.
If I was in charge of the investigation,
Right.
I would really look into the brother-in-law, because
Okay.
all points and all signs are in his direction.
Got it.
Like, there's more points going at him than anywhere and anybody else.
You
And
got
then
it.
you also got to take into account, like, all of a sudden, a couple days later, they found a glove, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was missing it. He was missing a glove. They find one. Then they come across an electrical box that had wires missing. That now they found a latex glove. And they're saying it's not law enforcement. It's not his.
Right.
And that it's Dogger's glove.
Right.
But then other reports allegedly said that it was a worker's glove.
Right.
Okay, well, if you look at the bird's eye, the footage and all the cameras and all the shots, where does that to be anywhere near that electrical box?
I agree. You're making some great points. Yes, I'm with you. 100%.
So if I was in charge of this investigation, I went back with a new team, new forensic, everything brand new,
Mm-hmm.
and I would recomb everything there, taping it all off, and then I would bring in the family again. And then Savannah's also got to be in on it too. If I think about it, and
Right.
the reason why is because her emotions and facial expressions are all over the place.
Wow.
Like you're going back on today's show. You're smiling, giddy, you know, and then all of a sudden now you want to backtrack and then throw emotions out there.
Right.
Then you want to come back on a few days later.
Right.
It's like...
So you think she has some involvement, like not directly, but involved?
Indirectly?
Indirectly?
It's a possibility.
Interesting.
It's a possibility because reports and allegations are that they were at a family dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she comes up a few hours later missing.
Got it.
And then you got local sheriffs that, like I said in the chat, so many years under their belt in situations like this, and yet they're scrambling around and trying to have to retrace over their evidence to see if they missed anything, to see if they forgot anything.
And let me just throw one more thing out that I'm sure you already know, but maybe some of the audience to refresh everybody's memory. We're also talking about nothing against young detectives. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been out there, and these are facts. There was a young detective. Not saying a young detective can be successful, but it was a young detective on a kidnapping homicide.
What do you mean?
Well,
say that again?
It was a young detective that Chris Nanos, Pima County Sheriff, who he had a leader in the investigation. He was a detective who organized this. It wasn't somebody who's been a detective for like 5 years, 10 years, etc. It was his first, what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, his first kidnapping.
Yes.
Right.
It was his first lead of a murder investigation.
Right.
Or a missing investigation.
Missing, right. Thanks for correcting me. Yes, missing.
Yep.
Are you surprised by that a little bit or no?
I am.
Okay.
Because as long as he's been the sheriff, he should have known to go with experience. Someone that knows what he's doing, knows how to handle the case, knows what notes to take, knows who to talk to, knows how to comb through video footage. And I'm trying to come up with ideas and answers in my head is the fact that why do they not have any footage of before he came up to the door?
Right, exactly. I think a lot of us on here, we have 174 watching.
It only shows footage of him coming around the corner, trying to hide his face, and then he knew exactly what plant to grab. But then you got a rich area, a secluded neighborhood.
Right.
The nearest neighbor is like 150 feet, but no one there has cameras.
I know.
They can't come up with anything.
I know. I mean, that's all you hear. I know. It really so bizarre in so many ways.
Then they're trying to say that.
I know in law enforcement, I know in law enforcement, excuse me, you don't want to hear these words, conspiracy. But man, now you know why people say conspiracy. I know these are words that law enforcement don't want to hear, but it's kind of, now you wonder why people think conspiracy. And I don't want to go into political and this, that, whatever. We won't get into that. But man, exactly why? Not one camera, not a street camera, not a 7-Eleven camera, not a, nothing. I'm talking when they got out of those back arteries,
But a normal gated community in a pretty decent neighborhood.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, what I've come across is they're going to have security cameras at the front gate.
You would think.
So if he pulled up in a car, which he did, they didn't go to the front gate security camera and get a plate number. Get a plate number on the car that rolled up in, run the plate, and that'll give you the answer, at least a good lead.
A big lead. A big
a
lead.
New potential starting point, which I'm pretty sure 100% it'll break the case wide open.
I agree. Well, let's backtrack just for a minute. You just said a few minutes ago, new task force. Well, you didn't say task force, but new team, and start. Crime scene. Whole house is a crime scene. No reporters, nothing out there. Start all over. Have you ever seen anything?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes to that.
Start fresh.
Okay, start fresh.
Start fresh, and I would build a team with someone that has handled cases similar to this.
Got it.
Even a murder case. Because you can't go wrong with experience in situations like this, rather than someone that's only got 2-3 years under their belt that just hit the detective division.
Right. Somebody just said in the chat, old school knowledge. I'm just reading a couple comments as we speak.
Correct.
Old school knowledge from a subscriber. Okay.
Yes. You want someone who knows how cases like this work.
I got one more question for you. I got one more question for you. I'll let you go. Is the perp feeling guilty? Have you ever seen in cases where they just they just can't take it anymore? They can't live with it. Yes or no?
As in the individual.
As an individual.
As the individual gives up.
Gives up. He or she, what's to say he for conversation? It certainly looks like a he in a mask, and you're saying it's the person was alone. Well, I'm saying, I'm putting words in your mouth. I asked you, was it Tommaso? Okay, so whoever that is, and can that person, particularly if they're involved or know the family, can they continue living every hour, every day? Have you ever seen in a similar, well, I'm sure you haven't seen an 84-year-old woman, but have you ever seen anything close to this that they just make mistakes? They basically turn themselves in without to turn themselves in, if you know what I mean. They give up. They can't live with it. Have you ever seen anything in your law enforcement, anything like that, where they just give up? They just, have a beer too many, have a whatever. They can't live with themselves. Have you seen that, or do you think this can happen?
Well, I've been doing this for 15 years.
15 years. Okay, go ahead.
And I have seen just about almost everything under the sun.
Okay.
So when it comes to situations like this, and you have these ransom notes popping up, you have these emails to different stations. Now, mind you, an email was sent to the local news station.
Right, you're right.
So,
one did.
And that was the first indication, right? You send an email to a news station, then you send one to TMZ.
Correct.
Okay. Then you have a ransom note popping up, and then another one popping up. Okay. So cases like this, whoever the alleged perpetrator is, they will slip up. They will slip up.
They will.
They will make that one mistake where, let's say, they want to write another ransom note.
Right.
And accidentally grab the piece of paper with their hand instead of a hand wearing a glove.
Got it.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it where I worked a case. It was a robbery case,
Uh-huh.
and we ended up running a 24-hour watch on this area. And the perpetrator that was at large, now mind you, he was at large for like 8-9 months.
Wow. Wow.
Just walk up in this area without a care in the world and try to blend in. Now, what they need to do is they need to start watching the family more and see how their body reactions are, how often they look over their shoulder, what their facial expressions are. Read their face. Do they look nervous? Do they look anxious? Do they look hesitant on doing anything? Are they always aware of their surroundings and looking around and seeing what's going on?
Right.
Is anyone watching this person? Is anyone,
Right. Got it. And that's not saying the FBI is not doing that. I would say the FBI is probably, I'm sure they're still into this case at least once or twice a week looking at the family members. Would that be incorrect? I mean, sure, I'm sure it's not a cold case. Cold case would not be a cold case until there's no more leads. So I'm sure they're doing what you just said. No? Maybe?
They are, but they're taking their time about it. And what I don't understand about this is
why?
it'll pop up on is why are they taking their time on this?
Yeah, why?
I mean, it could be a number of things. I've seen it take time on like this. I've seen cases take time on this because of the fact that, maybe they want to prolong it. They know the answers, but they're just trying to make themselves look like they're doing something. Now, what I don't understand is it comes up on reports such as like Google, or sometimes you'll see it on the news about a new lead or a new update, but then it'll disappear for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly. Interesting. Yes.
Wow.
I was thinking about that earlier or yesterday. Wow. So you have a lot of great thoughts. I want to say thank you, helping clarify, you being in law enforcement and clarifying some of the what's happening. A lot of misleads and sloppiness, in my words, kind of bizarre in so many ways. So
No, I'm gonna throw one more thing out there that'll probably throw your mind and get your wheels spinning a bit.
okay.
So the new ransom note that supposedly came out said that start looking in Mexico.
Right.
Right? Have people ever thought that let's throw a ransom note out there?
By the way, real quick, they're saying everybody on the chat likes what you're saying. Great caller. Just wanted to put that out there. I know you're probably saying no problem, but go ahead and continue. They're just letting you know I'm reading the chat as we're talking. Go ahead.
You're good. What people like this like to do is they will throw information out there to get law enforcement to look in a different area, to look in rural areas, to look in different states, to get the attention off of the surrounding area and a little more of distance-wise. And the reason for that is because alleged perpetrators like this, they are starting to feel the heat. They're starting to feel law enforcement get closer and closer.
Wow.
Okay? And so they want to drop these little tidbits in the new areas so that way it gives the alleged perpetrator fresh air to breathe.
buy some time too, right?
Kind of to buy some time and to get some fresh air to breathe.
Wow, interesting. That's a lot. Yeah, you just blew my mind there a little bit. Yes, gotcha. They're not ready to go. They're not ready to go to jail. They're not ready to. Yeah, got it.
They're not. They're feeling the heat. They're feeling the pressure. They're afraid of that mistake being made, so they want law enforcement to focus somewhere else.
Yeah, subscriber just said a distraction. A loyal subscriber said distraction.
So
yeah. Well, hey, that's a lot, and we appreciate it. Law enforcement, 15 years, and on his perspective, and his knowledge, and what he's seen, and let's hope that they can find Nancy's remains. Of course, it would be a miracle, and what this nation would need to have her alive. Just put that out there, but interesting, a lot there to digest. I'm digesting it as we're speaking, and we appreciate your call. It was one of the best calls I've had. No disrespect to anybody else, coming right from law enforcement and being anonymous. We appreciate you. We appreciate you subscribing and giving us a perspective from what you've seen and what you see, and what you see in this case. We thank you.
you're welcome. Take care.
God bless. God bless. Whoa, there you go. Wow, great call. What do you guys think? That was amazing. What do you guys think? Law enforcement calling in, 15 years experience. He's seen it. He's seen a lot. His perspective. Kind of where I'm going with this. The only difference, in my opinion, I feel that, in my opinion, not the law enforcement, my opinion, I believe that the sheriff, two things. He turned his back. He knows something and scared to say for whatever reason, money. I'm adding that. But man, yes or no, was that a great call? Yes or no? That was a fantastic call. And I'm seeing the comments come in. We have 168. Hey guys, thank you so much. I know we got a great involved with that call. Anybody forgot to hit the like? Only if you enjoy the stream. We appreciate it as it helps out the YouTube channel, and we can get this live stream out there and get the most importantly, justice for Nancy Guthrie, justice for the family, and keep Nancy's name out there. And if the perp is watching, do the right thing, my friend. It's not too late. Turn yourself in. Call FBI. Do the right thing. And if you know somebody, seen something, do the right thing. Because you can't live. Hard to live like this. Hard to put your head on the pillow and see your family. And just do the correct thing. It's not too late. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I got papers flying here. Let me just pick up my papers. A little windy here in Las Vegas. Anybody else? We pinned a number. Anybody else? Any other law enforcement, doctors want to call in? Nurse, former law enforcement, detectives, streamers. Anybody want to call in and give your perspective? We got Reno, Nevada here. Where are you guys coming from? Where are you guys? Anybody out of the country? Anybody in Tucson, Arizona? Anybody in Tucson? Have you heard anything in Tucson that might be we haven't heard that's leaking out? Anything that you might want to cover? We got Vancouver in the house. Vancouver. Anybody else? Denver's in the house. Hopefully, are you guys enjoying this live? That was a great call. Oregon in the house. Hello, Linda Ford. I'll take two more calls. Don't be shy. Call in. Feel free to disagree with me or the previous caller or any other caller. Everybody has their own opinion. As I believe we're getting close. We got Jersey in the house, Indiana. I feel that we're getting real close. I feel that the person's gonna break real soon. But the last caller said, and I quote, alluding to Savannah, that Savannah might be somewhat involved somehow. What do you guys think about Savannah? You know, on the Today Show, we've seen her today come out with some tears. For me, she looked angry, upset, almost like she wants to come out and say something. What do you think? Is there a possibility? Allegedly, I'll say it again a third time, could be involved. We got Southern New Jersey. Oh, Southern New Jersey, what part? Victor, Vineland, right? Vineland, was it Vineland you were from? My hometown. We got California in the house. Yeah, Savannah with the stars. Could Savannah know more? Does two-part question. Savannah involved? Savannah knows something? Is the FBI telling her behind closed doors something that we don't know? What do you think in this almost 5 months of an 84-year-old kidnapped? That's almost unheard of. And I forgot to ask the law enforcement that. I think it's like 1 or 2%. Who does this stuff? Who takes an 84-year-old woman? It's normally, we don't want anybody to be kidnapped, right? But usually it's kids or child custody or drug cartels, but not an 84-year-old sweet woman living and retiring, living the rest of her life in nature, so-called, and looking at beautiful sunsets and bobcats, according to her family. And you heard that caller. Somebody knew electrical box, the house. Why was there any cameras at the gate? These were all great perspectives and questions. And calling out, calling out Pima County. Yeah, a lot of stuff there to digest on that previous caller and tonight's live stream. I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. We'll stay live for a little bit longer. Anybody else want to call in? Let's see here. Lindsay, welcome in. Savannah, question mark. Not even maybe. Terry, great show. Hi, thank you. Thank you for those who are enjoying it. I appreciate it. I'm just a small YouTuber channel involved in Nancy Guthrie. And I appreciate all the likes and support. We help out the homeless when we can in Las Vegas, and we got bigger things to come. So we got another call coming in. It's unknown. I'm always cautious when unknown, but I understand people want their privacy. But we did have some threats. So, hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hi, my name is Chris.
Chris. Okay, Chris. What's on your mind?
I actually work for the sheriff's office.
Okay, hold on, Chris, 1 second. Can you lower I hear some noise in the background. Can you lower that just a little bit? Appreciate it. Thank you. That's a lot better. All right, so you work for what sheriff department? Do you want to say what sheriff department you work for, or you want to just be anonymous?
Just be anonymous.
Okay, good. You work for a sheriff department. We'll leave it at that, right?
Correct.
Okay. What's on your mind? What's anything you want to add or take out or that you're able to say?
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. So I think they are going on the leads all the wrong way.
Okay. They're going all the wrong way. All right. Go ahead.
Correct. And the reason why is because they're supposed to act on the lead immediately, and the sheriff, Nanos, is nowhere to be around until after.
Interesting. Right. Gotcha.
And the only time that he comes into the picture would be when press conferences are made. And I think Savannah had something to do with it. So
you agree with the last caller in law enforcement for 15 years. You also think there's a possibility, allegedly Savannah could have something to do with it, directly or indirectly, or just involvement?
I am leaning more towards indirectly.
Indirectly. Okay, go ahead. Allegedly, go ahead.
It's one of those indirectly involved, so that way she's less to be looked at.
Interesting. I'm just taking it in and I'm reading the chat, so I'm pausing. Go ahead, you can continue.
But nothing really will fall on her. Nothing will really fall on her because there's really no signs leading to her being directly involved. But I listened to the last caller, and he said like body emotions and expressions and stuff like that, and I agree with him.
You agree?
I do.
Okay.
I think she is indirectly involved. I think she is indirectly involved, and the brother-in-law
Right.
is the one who helped her set the.
Allegedly, the brother-in-law. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
What about the brother?
And
What about the brother? I'm saying this. I know you're not. What about the brother? I forget his name, but there's another sibling, the brother. Do you think he's also involved?
not really.
Not really. Okay, let's continue with Savannah. Go ahead.
Not really. I think Savannah and the brother-in-law set this up. He took her home, and honestly, I think Savannah was with him when they dropped her off at the house.
Whoa.
Someone had to have walked her up to the door, and that's what Savannah has been saying the whole time, is that she has to have a walker.
Right. Right.
So the brother-in-law looking at, a couple pictures of him with his wife and the rest of the family and stuff, he's got the size, if she doesn't have the walkers, he's got the size to carry her.
Yeah, he certainly does have a size on him. Right. According to the photos we're seeing. Right. I agree.
So, and the last caller mentioned something about starting fresh with, a new team.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
If I heard correctly.
Yes, that's what he said. That's what he thought. Start with a new team.
I agree with that.
Yeah, two law enforcement think, two smart brains in law enforcement. What did they say? Think the same, right?
They do think the same. They do, run the same path, run the same pattern, have the same ideas,
Right.
the same plan. And what I don't understand is how are you going to have pictures of only the front of the house and none of the back?
Exactly.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, there's a couple, one or two,
But the
right?
main focus is on the front. They said that they found a drop of blood or a couple few spots. Like, my wife also works for the city police department in forensics.
Wow, that's your wife, and you work. We got new subscribers coming in on and off. Just to let everybody know, you're being anonymous, of course, and thank you for calling in. You work for the sheriff department. Now, are you? We'll leave it at that. You work for the sheriff department. Okay, go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
I work for the sheriff's department. I work for the sheriff's department in the detectives division.
Okay. Very good. We'll leave it at that. You don't have to go anywhere with that. Okay. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
I've worked 3 of these kinds of cases before.
3, you said.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. 3 cases. You guys hear that? 3 cases. Go ahead.
And the leads aren't being followed until later on. The sheriff, if this was a high priority to him, he would be involved in every lead. But for some reason, he's not.
But why? What's your first thoughts? I'm sure you thought this over and over and over. But why? That's everybody. The big mystery is why.
I think it's because he doesn't want his fingerprints all over it. Probably because of the backlash that he's been getting.
Okay.
Of this case and being handled improper. Me personally, I think Nanos has handled this case unprofessional.
I think, real quick, and please hold that thought. for me, my first thoughts were he's ready. He was a sheriff, excuse me. And let's just say this: a large. It's not one of those Western movies you've seen with just two deputies. It looks like he was ready to retire. It's almost like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? Yes or no to that? It's almost like he was ready. He's like last year or years to ready to go. Yes or no? To me, he got caught with his pants down.
Yes, and I say yes because he's not running for sheriff again.
Right. I'm taking this all in. Any involvement from the sheriff? You think he? I know you don't. Any involvement? Do you think there's any suspicious in your mind? Almost 5 months that he looked over his shoulder or involved in anything? Yes, no?
I think so.
You think so?
And the reason I say that is because there was a case I worked about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been with the sheriff's office for 12.
So you've been with the sheriff department for 12 years. Go ahead.
Yes.
And by the way, real quick, thank you for your service. I just want to put that out there. Thank you so much for risking your life. Go ahead and continue. Thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think he is involved. I think Savannah kind of paid him a little bit to kind of keep his mouth shut for some reason that I don't understand as to why.
Right.
I just don't think he wants his fingerprints all over it.
Yes.
It's not a priority to him. The only time it's a priority is when cameras are around, and it's just a lead that should have went somewhere with the right team, but turns into a dead lead.
So let me just put this for all the viewers. We have 155. There's way too many good people, and let me just add, there's great people who are police, law enforcement, detectives out there. Much more greatness, and we're not saying Chris Nanos is involved. We're just giving us a perspective. I'm just saying this for YouTube. But unfortunately, you have some laziness, and unfortunately, you have people that who will do things for money. These are my words, not yours. I just want to put that out there for YouTube. Go ahead.
Yes, there are some law enforcement officers out there, more often than not, that will actually handle a case the right way, take the leads the right way. And then there's also some out there that will keep quiet for the money.
For the money. A lot of it's money, right? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for explaining that in better words. Appreciate that. Yes.
A lot will do a lot for money, right?
Right.
The camera situation, I mean, the last caller that you just had a little bit ago pretty much hit everything on the head.
I think so. I'm a little shocked about Savannah. I was a little shocked about him throwing in Savannah. But yeah, I agree. And I'm not just saying that. I agree. 98%.
Yes. So any case like this, and the last caller really never touched up on it, but the right team that has the real experience, that has worked on cases like this before, they build a profile first. They build a profile. They go to the incident area. They go to the scene of the crime, tape everything off, handle all the evidence the right way. If you're handling anything that has body fluids, blood, hair, any of that nature, a fingernail, forensics immediately handles all that.
Correct.
Forensics wasn't there until about a day or two later.
That's correct. And let me just add to this. Hold that thought, please. There was a pool guy there the third day. There was a pizza delivery to a YouTuber. There was people on and off News Nation, etc. On that property. I just wanted to add that to the viewers, and I'm not refreshing your mind. I'm sure you already know that, but I wanted to add to that. Correct? I mean, that should have been a no-no. Yes or no?
They should have had that scene taped off for about, me personally, I would have taped that scene off for at least about a week.
A week, and I've said that. I don't know how long you've been following me. We're listening to a law enforcement here now for 15 years, correct? And a previous call, 15 years. Sorry, previous caller, 15 years. You've been in law enforcement for how long again?
12 years.
12 years. So I agree. I mean, I have uncle retired law enforcement. He couldn't believe that should have been marked off. He said media should have had a designated area, but not right there. I just wanted to add that in. We have viewers coming in and out, and to refresh everybody's memory. But go ahead and continue. Yeah, interesting. I know. It's like, go ahead.
So if you watch all the other breaking news that come across news stations and stuff like that, like shootings or anything like that, do you happen to see that camera crew anywhere near the scene?
No, not near the scene.
No.
No, not near the scene.
They are at least maybe 75, 150 feet away.
Absolutely.
But yet the media team of this case was damn near on the doorstep.
Pretty much, and on the doorstep. Literally.
Exactly.
Right.
So that was handled improper.
Right.
The evidence was handled improper.
Correct.
The glove that they found near the electrical box, I think it was,
Yes, you're right.
or on the road, I think they found a glove either near the electrical box or on the road near the scene.
Correct. Real close by.
Looking further into this case, that glove was picked up by an officer with no gloves on.
That's right. That's right. Thanks for refreshing my memory and the audience in here. That's correct.
And you had asked the question about where people are calling from, if there was anybody in the Arizona area, that knows anything about this.
I did.
The only location that I can give you based off of security purposes of the law enforcement department is I reside in am an Arizona County Sheriff.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that, right?
I live about 370 miles away from the county that Nancy disappeared from.
So you're 375 miles away from Tucson, and we're Nancy Guthrie. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, just coming in and out of the chat. We're discussing Nancy Guthrie. We have somebody who works for the Sheriff Department about 355 miles away from the crime scene. Wow. Interesting perspective from two law enforcements here that think alike in many ways.
Now, it also came up to reports that, and I've actually been looking into this, the alleged suspect never looked in the area of the neighborhood.
Okay.
He went straight to the house, straight to the front yard,
Straight to the address.
straight to the door, knew what to do, knew where to go, knew where the camera was because he tried to hide himself, failed dramatically at that, looked directly into it, and there was a case that my wife worked on 2 years ago where there was a bank robbed and had a mask on and everything, and was still able to identify the suspect just based off of the mask on. Now, why this county that Nancy disappeared from, nothing's coming up on record or facial recognition, analysis, DNA analysis, how they have to call in a second imaginary one. All of that is not true.
Can I add something? I hate to put you on the spot. I don't want to make this political at all. But without getting into too much of it, do you think this goes all the way up higher, all the way to the governor, to the senators? What's your instance on that? No? Maybe? As far as the whole case.
To be honest,
Yes.
to be honest with you,
Yes. Without, getting too much into political. But is there a possibility that they're in bed with each other? Or no?
no.
No. Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
I think this is. I think 100% this is an inside job.
Inside job.
And Savannah paid off Nanos to not.
How many on the chat? We have 164 watching. Think it's an inside job and agree with the last two, the caller we have now, not the previous caller. Go ahead and continue, sir.
I mean, this at the end of the day, this whole situation is not handled proper. The wrong investigators took over.
A lot of people are agreeing with you. Most people are agreeing with you. Go ahead.
FBI never took control of the situation. Sheriff Nanos isn't really informative. Savannah, I think Savannah is involved. Now, here's the kicker.
Mm-hmm. What's the kicker?
If you watch Savannah Guthrie's first video, when her mom first came up missing, and if you watch her second video after that, it appeared two different emotions.
Two different emotions for Savannah on her NBC live show in the morning. Two different interviews, in your opinion. Is that what you just said?
Well, I think her first video was an Instagram video or a Facebook video or some social media video.
I think you're right. I think you're correct. You're right. You're correct.
That had a little bit of emotion. Then she came out with a second video.
That was with all the
After
siblings.
that,
That was with the siblings, with Annie and her brother. And forget the brother's name, but that was the first one. I think you're right. It was a Facebook or something like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then she came out with a second video, and it had two different emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So why would you have two separate emotions and not be involved?
Interesting perspective from law enforcement. Right. Got it. Now there's some people in the chat, just reading, a lot agree, but there's some saying they agree but disagree or not 100% convinced on Savannah. I'm just reading the chat.
Okay.
So tell us why. Well, you did tell us why. Because of money. Savannah has the cash over the other siblings. So basically, theoretically, it's coming down to what I've said from an hour or 2 hours ago. Money, money, money.
Money and fame.
Money and fame. Okay, at fame. Right.
Money and fame. Now, of all the people that live in that neighborhood, why a celebrity?
Yeah, why her? Right. Why not Annie? Why not the brother? Why not Savannah? I'm asking, right? I'm just, you know where I'm going. Why not
the next door neighbor?
Why not
Where are all the other camera footages? I bet you if I was to go into that neighborhood, I would see a camera of some sort on every single one of them houses in that entire neighborhood. I guarantee it. But yet you can't come up with one footage of a car driving by, someone walking by. So there were also reports of a second person there.
Right. Right.
Or it was allegedly reported that the alleged perpetrator changed clothes.
I heard that. I heard that as well. Interesting.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the cameras ripped off?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have 168 in the chat. I bet you 165 would agree on that. You know, that doesn't make any sense at all. We're listening to a law enforcement here. Go ahead.
Then here's another twist.
Go ahead.
It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't a robbery gone bad. And Savannah's mother was personally targeted because nothing in the house was out of sorts.
Other than our beds, you know, being like when we wake up in the morning, other than our bed sheets being like she got out of bed, but that could have been at any time, any within those hours or days, correct?
Correct.
There was
and
no...
we didn't even hear reports of the bed until after.
Exactly, my friend. Yes, sir.
So they were only focused on the cameras, the front porch, I believe the garage,
Right.
and then the back door came into play. But if you remember correctly, Savannah brought up the back door. And that's the reason why that law enforcement went back to check the back of the house.
Whoa, that's right.
Why didn't they check the back of the house when they were first there in the first place?
Exactly. Bingo. That's why in your opinion, allegedly, there's some involvement with Savannah. And you even go as far as Savannah could have even been there.
Correct. And that's another reason why I believe Nanos is involved in some way.
Wow, wow, wow. I have never actually would put that together. Amazing. Yes. Wow. Got it. Interesting in so many ways.
Because pictures of the back of the house didn't surface until later on.
Till later. Till Savannah herself came out and alluded that.
And then Savannah brought up her mom's room. Now all of a sudden, law enforcement is in the mom's room.
Right, right. Well, they also, too, on Savannah's defense, if I could say, I'm sure the FBI at that point, or Pima County, what clothing that she had on when she was missing. You know, what pajamas, I think it was pajamas, you know, taking out what was there and what she could have had on, what was not there, yes or no. So.
Exactly.
Right. Just wanted to add to that. Wow. Well, interesting. Yeah.
Anybody who goes into an area that they do not know, and I've seen this off of experience.
Right.
They're always looking over their shoulder, making sure anybody's watching, see if there's any lights on in any other houses, seeing if anybody's driving down the road. But this alleged perpetrator knew exactly, one, where to go.
Comfortable.
He wasn't looking around. He was trying to figure out who's around in the area, who's awake.
Very comfortable.
He knew that all the lights would be off in the neighborhood. And when you watch the footage, he came around the corner and looked dead at the camera as if he knew exactly where it was and tried to hide himself.
Yes.
And he knew which plant to grab.
Right. So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the previous caller in law enforcement for 15 years. You think that the perp is ready to break. Is he going to accidentally break, or is he just going to confess? He can, assuming it's a family member, allegedly, will just have enough and break. Have you seen, I asked the previous caller, law enforcement, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you think?
He's not going to break.
Not going to break. Will he accidentally break, though? You know what I mean? In a bar, a beer, well, excuse me, but just break accidentally.
No.
No. 2 no's. So do we have a cold case?
It's not going to be a cold case.
Okay.
I don't see him. I don't see the alleged perpetrator turning himself in.
You do not.
I wrongly towards that it's an inside job with the sheriff.
Somebody, so hold on 1 second. Somebody just said, a subscriber, Sharon, just says, I agree, he's too scared to talk. This is a subscriber, Sharon, loyal subscriber. I quote, I agree, he's too scared to talk. Do you agree with that statement? That comment?
100%.
Okay.
100%. He's not going to give himself up. But I will tell you this, though.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in the family, such as maybe Savannah's sister, maybe Savannah's brother, maybe out on the limb, and either Savannah's kids or Savannah's niece and nephew or whatnot will break the case wide open.
That will break the case. Interesting. Okay. Interesting perspective.
I am sensing that someone in the family will give him up.
I don't know if you watch the interview room or know who they are. Chris McDonald, retired law enforcement and SWAT team, etc. He had a great show on Sunday. In his perspective, he went out and did old school detective. He went to parks where homeless. We help out the homeless on here. But get to my point, he went to like drug users in that park that has a heavy amount of, you know, drug dealers, drug users, and this, that, whatever. And there's other words I won't say. Is there a possibility, I asked the last caller, that you think, a possibility that our answer to this crime is there in a park with drug users and heavy homelessness, you know, because a lot of times, you know, in law enforcement, they know more than anybody at times. Yes or no to that?
No.
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 Okay.
And I know exactly why. I know exactly why too.
Mm-hmm.
Because
like to hear
a homeless person.
Uh-huh.
Because a homeless person isn't really gonna be as fit. And I say this with all due respect.
Well, hold on. Maybe you missed. Maybe I didn't explain myself, and I apologize. I'm saying, do they know something? Because I bring that up because Chris McDonald went out there. He's a former police, retired. He went boots on the ground, and Annie's has a jewelry business there. And his perspective was, it was too much coincidence where her business, homeless, the crime scene, Annie and Tommaso 5.5 miles away. That's why I'm not saying that was them in front of the masked man, the perp, but could they have been approached at some point? That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm saying, could they know something?
Now, to elaborate on your question, they might be able to know something, and I say that because right. It all depends on how close these people are to Annie's business.
Got it.
It all depends on how close of a relationship or whether if Jim Bob Jr. is a frequent flyer of whatever business that Savannah's sister has.
Right.
Whether if they mutually know each other or personally know each other, that all depends on that scenario.
Okay.
Now,
got it.
I believe 100% that a drug addict is going to be able to pull this off. And the reason why is because drug addicts, coming from experience, I worked DEA for 2 years.
Oh, have you? Okay.
They are way too antsy.
Right.
Way too antsy. They're too nervous. They're not really stable enough to know exactly what to do.
Got it. I was thinking the same thing.
You can give a drug addict instructions, and depending on where his mindset is, he wouldn't be able to pull this off so calmly.
Be so calm, right? I was thinking the same thing. It was a great show and a great perspective from law enforcement retired, but I like how he analyzed it as old school, though. You got to give him credit on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went a little bit further.
Right.
Had an insight, first person view.
Right.
But coming from actual law enforcement to this day,
Right.
I don't think that a homeless person could pull this off. And I definitely 100% wouldn't bet on a drug addict pulling this off.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. I agree on the homeless, not because I help out the homeless, but I agree what you're saying. Go ahead. And if somebody says, wanted to say, I think you answered that already, but somebody said, what about the brother? I think you mentioned that. I forget the brother's name, but the sibling of Savannah and Annie. I think you answered that. What was your answer to that? Somebody said, what about the brother? Involvement.
I don't think a brother is involved.
Okay. I think that's what you right. Cameron. Cameron's his name, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the brother is involved, only because of the fact that they showed, if you look at Savannah's first video, either on Instagram or Facebook,
right,
one of those two.
Yeah.
Her brother's body build does not fit the alleged perpetrator's body.
Okay.
Body build.
Got it.
Because the alleged perpetrator's body build is more muscular than her brother. Her brother is tall and medium built.
Now, I got it. Thanks for clarifying that. Where is Annie and Tommaso? Because what I'm hearing from YouTube streamers, and because that's what we're hearing from. And thank you for the donations in here. Teresa, thank you so much. Where are they? Is the FBI have them in a safe place? I mean, do you want to comment on that or not, or rather not? I mean, where are they? They're obvious not in their house, or are they in their house? Because there's what we seen at least a week ago before the YouTubers got arrested, there's nobody at that house. Do you think they're relocated for security? Do you want to comment on that or rather not?
I can only give as much information as I can.
Right, got it. Okay.
Based off of experience
right.
Circumstances, as well as how sensitive that this case is.
Now, you're 355 miles away. Some of the subscribers earlier thought that maybe you're in Mexico. Do you want to clarify? You don't have to say exactly. You said enough, 355 miles, but are you in Mexico?
No, I am not.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that for some of the viewers. Not in Mexico, guys. Okay.
No, I am not. I am actually in the northeast corner of Arizona.
Northeast corner of Arizona. 355 miles away from Tucson, where the crime scene was. Got it.
Yes,
Enough said.
I'm over near the four corners of Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado.
Okay. And I've seen similar cases like this, and you're just giving us your perspective. And like the previous law enforcement said, we had back-to-back amazing callers, by the way. Thank you so much. Just giving us your perspective and just adding in. And I think the previous law enforcement also said, allegedly keep eyes on Savannah. She's not as innocent, in your opinion, the previous caller opinion, innocent. What you're seeing, what you're at this point.
Do I believe Savannah's innocent?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really. All right. So
my wife and I talked about this a couple weeks ago.
And your wife, just to refresh, the caller's wife is also in law enforcement and works in Homicide?
She works in the forensics division of the city police department.
Okay, forensics. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that she is completely. I don't think that she is completely innocent.
Okay, got it.
And the reason being is because my wife has kind of re-looked over the case, and she's attached to this case because of the fact that when
I just want to say, I just want to add something. I'm not trying to confuse you. I think you know me by now. I got new people coming in and out, and I'm reading some of the comments and just wanted you to put that out there one last time. So I'm not trying to give you a trick question or anything. But go ahead and continue, please.
she's so attached to this case because it's baffling to her how the DNA results never came back. They didn't come up with anything.
Right.
Or none of that. Okay, so we were talking, and she doesn't think Savannah is innocent either. And the reason for that is because she's actually went and studied the camera footage of the perpetrator at the house, the alleged perpetrator at the house.
So she done some studying.
Studied all of the.
Wow.
Huh?
She's done some studying, your wife, on this.
Yes, she's actually went and studied the cameras or the pictures and photos that have come out of the house.
Right. Got
of the electrical box, of the plant that he went straight to and pulled out, like he was the one that put that plant there.
Right. Try to cover it up.
She had mentioned something about how it looked like there was a female in the background. In the distance.
I heard that too. I've seen that, but I can't. What I've seen, I can't say I've seen a female, but I'm not disagreeing. We can let the chit chat on that, but yeah, I've heard that and from other streamers and law enforcement and this, that, whatever. Wow. So she's saying there's a possibility of a female in the distance, is what you said. I'm sorry, we got a little bit of wind here in Vegas. Interesting.
Yes, and I asked her how she thought that, and she goes, because of the body figure.
The body figure. Okay. Okay.
So
now somebody just said yes. I'm going to add the word allegedly, Annie. Now I don't want to put you and come out and say it, but I'm just reading the chat. So some of the subscribers are saying yes, Annie. Yeah. So we'll leave that at that. But yeah, interesting from your wife's perspective, who's been studying this case, and she's been involved in law for many years as well. Correct?
She has been in law enforcement for 18 years.
18 years, so not 1 year. No, with all due respect, anybody who's been in law enforcement on here for 1 year, not 2 years, but 18 years.
Yes. I've been in it for 12, and she's been in it for 18.
Wow, and thank you for your wife as well for risking her life, and thank you for both of you for your service. Interesting perspective. Appreciate it. Everybody is enjoying this. Some, most agree, some disagree on the Savannah. Just putting that out there. Being on this podcast and independent journalist, but interesting perspective here from you with your wife and the previous law enforcement for 15 years. Wow, a lot to digest here.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you for taking your time and giving us your perspective in law enforcement. And hey, let's hope and pray that something breaks. I still think, and I know you, I don't put words in your mouth, I think that there's going to be a confession. I think that, just my thoughts, that I think that person's going to just come out and break. But that's just my opinion. You think it's going to be from, what exactly?
I think it's going to be from a family member.
Family member is just going to say something. By accident, but accidentally though, right?
I'm leaning more towards that it's actually going to come out and someone's actually just going to be like, you know what, I'm tired of this going on. Yeah. Someone's got to know. Right. Someone's going to come to their right mind and be accountable.
Right. And a lot of people are saying thank you, by the way. Thank you. And I'm sure you're saying my pleasure. But they're all saying, a lot of people are saying thank you for your time and your perspective. And thank you for law enforcement. I'm just reading comments here as we continue here. Interesting. I really appreciate you coming on and being anonymous and giving us, where you're located, and we appreciate it. And You know, some people are saying, why would you call in being law enforcement? I said, well, what's wrong with that? I'm saying it. You know, what's wrong with that? You know, you're not involved in the case, but you just want to, you want this to be solved just like all of us. You've seen this, you lived this and experienced some of this, right?
Yes.
Right. Got it. Well, with that said, yeah, wow. I'm going to digest this. Let's have justice for Nancy and why Nancy and why did this happen on these dark streets on February 1st and so many unanswered. And it's funny how a lot of you law enforcement, not all, kind of think alike on maybe different.
So I'm gonna put one more thing out there.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it hit reports or not, but, and I'm not sure if you or any of the viewers know this.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm leaning towards the brother-in-law a lot is because bodybuild, knew exactly what to do, but the main thing that stands out and sticks out the most is the argument that went on at the family dinner.
The argument.
The night of the family dinner, there was an argument, and all of a sudden now she comes up missing.
Right.
So how can someone, like, it's too much of a coincidence.
Too much of a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. Now, just because I'm letting the viewers know, just because there's an argument, the Italians like to argue, doesn't mean somebody's going to go ahead and do this crime. I'm just adding that out there. But yes, I hear what you're saying. There's just 1, 2, and 3 right there. I was putting my fingers up. Hopefully I didn't disturb anybody. They're just, 3 obvious red flags, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the argument must have been bad enough to have an alleged family member act upon what could have happened at the argument.
Somebody wanted to say, with all due respect, what proof of argument? Somebody said, a subscriber, what proof of argument? Wasn't that stated? I think that was stated from, wasn't that stated from Pima County? From one of the siblings, I think it was. I'm answering it for you. I'm not sure. But
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the brother that had mentioned there was a brief argument, but wouldn't go into detail.
Right. That's right. The brother. Thank you. It was brother. It was a brief argument. Right. That's right. It was the brother. Right.
Yes.
Right. Interesting. All right. Wow. Yeah. So there you go, guys. We're hearing some law enforcement there, and his wife and former caller and law enforcement who've been doing this for a few years now. No disrespect if anybody's out there doing it for a few years, and we're hearing a lot that it's allegedly they can be completely innocent. They're innocent before proven guilty with proper calls. But we're just giving us our perspective, and great call. Wow.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, thank you. Thank you for what you do, and shout out to your wife as well, and appreciate you subscribing and giving us your your background and your perspective. Thank you.
Take care and stay safe.
You too as well. So there you go, guys. Wow, we had some great calls there from law enforcement. I appreciate you guys taking time and listening in. And again, this is just perspectives, and everybody has their opinions, including law enforcement. And we heard from 2, 3 if you count the wife. And thank you. Renee says thank you. Wow. Whoa. Wow. What a live. Great. Interesting. Anybody else? I'll take one more call. Victor says calls for tonight's our lives are now closed. We're closed. No more calls. Yes. So let's it's a good idea. So let's take a few minutes and chit chat here on Nancy Guthrie. We heard my perspective. We heard law enforcement perspective. 2 on the phone. 1 his wife, and a lot to digest here. All right. Yes. Well, for those who missed the calls, you can go back. If you want to go back 30 minutes and hear both calls, you can go back. I'm not looking for views or anything like that. But if you want to hear You missed some great calls. You know, some agree, some disagree. That's what's great about these lives. That's what's great about YouTube. You can't have this on news channels. You're not going to see this on Fox. You're not going to see it on CNN or News Nation. Well, maybe you'll see it on Brian Hinton, but well, maybe not, because this is live, folks, and this was call-ins, and you know, a lot of people say, well, why a law enforcement would call in? I explained that. Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Victor, for pinning the number in, and wow, I'm overwhelmed from all of yous. You know, we're at the end of the day, we pray for family. Some of you agree, some of you disagree, but you're not going to get this on any news, right? Not at all. Maribeth, yes. Yeah. Yes, Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. Yes, I'm reading some here. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought this was a great live. Share out this video, guys. If there's one stream to share, I would appreciate sharing this out for a number of reasons. Number one, justice for Nancy, and get it out there, and so other YouTubers and streamers can discuss it, and we can keep the light on the Nancy Guthrie. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Kissing the Dream. Sharon, thank you. Thank you. Yes, share this. Watch it. If you just came in late, just go back. You can rewind it and go back and listen to parts that you... I think the whole live was pretty good. But I'm biased. I'm the host. But go back and listen to some of these calls. Sir Daniel, let me read your comment real quick. Oh, I hear you, Sir Daniel. I mean, you know, that's up for you guys to digest. And the comment was, are they real or not? You know, but yeah, that's up to you guys, not me. That's up to you guys. That's what's great about lives, right? Yes or no? Thank you, Angel. I appreciate it. Yeah, Natasha agrees. Yeah, that's for you guys to you know. I mean, just say this. You just can believe what you want. You know, this is live. I have no knowledge. I don't know these people. I don't know these law enforcement. I don't know these individuals. It was great to hear the perspective. They came in from an unknown, restricted line for privacy. I didn't, you know, nothing with me, nothing, no knowledge of who these guys are. I just want to put that out there. That's up to you guys to decide whether they were in law enforcement. But, you know, I know a lot of law enforcement and FBI. They tell me similar, not those exact words, people that I get to know through being involved with representatives and Fight for Homeless and friends of mine. We smoke cigars. And basically, I'm not trying to talk you into anything. A lot of them, perspective, not all, in different words. I've heard some of this, not exactly word by word in Savannah. I'm just putting that out there. So that's up to you guys. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing or agreeing, or even with me. You know, I gave you my perspective, and that's what's fantastic about lives, and I appreciate it, guys. Love yous all, you know. But it was great to hear. Anybody else? I'll read you some more comments here. I gotta get some water. But yeah, nonetheless, I'll tell you what I'll do. I can't promise you guys, but I'm going to see if I can get a friend of mine who works for FBI. He's ready to retire and real soon. And also my uncle. Yes, Italians are involved in law. Not all of them are on the streets and involved in organized crime. We'll see if I can get my uncle on. He's been in law enforcement for 30 years, been retired for 10 years, and also have an FBI friend who's ready to retire. We can have them on. I'll have it on StreamYards and block out their face. So, you know, we can do that as well and hear their perspective if you guys like. Yes or no, if you want that. I can't promise you. I gotta maybe bribe my uncle a little bit. we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I can get my uncle on. Okay, I'll see. Probably have better luck with my uncle. The FBI is not retired yet, but we'll see. Maybe if I give him a good cigar, we'll have him on. Either a call-in or a StreamYard. You know, we'll see. Yeah, I'll bribe him with some cannolis and some sausages and peppers and give him a drink. He'll come on. One drink. So we'll get my uncle on. I can't promise it'll be tomorrow, but I'll work on him. And just to give you guys a little perspective. Guys, again, these are just the perspective. And I agree with some of it. And we'll leave it at that, you know. So. But yeah, nonetheless, I enjoyed it, guys. Hey, thank you for the donations. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the memberships. If you're new, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Come on. We keep it true. We have call-ins every now and then. And, you know, I try to put a little bit of entertainment. There's nothing entertaining about Nancy Guthrie. But, you know, as these lives approach 3 hours, I try to, you know, give, you know, good perspectives and a little entertainment. And one drink, absolutely. One drink is all he does. He only has one drink. That's all I pretty much have. Unless 4th of July, I might have two. Or a birthday. All right, with that said, guys, thank you so much. We had a lot of, I recognize a lot of names from other YouTube channels. Thank you so much. And anything anybody wants to add before we go? Anything else anybody wants to add? I know those who want me to talk about the war. We'll talk about that soon. What's going on with the war, and or you know, depending how you look at it, ending a war. We'll get into that a little bit on the days to come. Betty, thank you. JLR, prayers for JLR. Thank you, Renee, once again. Thank you, Vicky. Yes, Sir Daniel, love you. Yes, Sharon, love you. Angel, appreciate it. We're winding down. Wow, and 207 likes. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. Just a small YouTube channel approaching 50,000 subscribers. Wow, I'm blown away. Thank you. Guys, again, share out the video. Check out my shorts on homeless. We appreciate it. And Green Cat, thank you so much. Thank you all of you who came on for JLR, Ted Investigates, Alex, Criminal Network, and others. Linda, thank you. All right, guys. I'm out. I'm a little exhausted and taking a lot in. Prayers for Nancy Guthrie. Prayers for the family. And prayers for you and everybody out there. And Natasha, thank you. Good night. Real quick, guys, if you're going through some rough times, I always like to say this. I almost forgot. A divorce, a sickness, financial. Please take 1 hour at a time. Positively. Negative's no good. And we're here for you. And thank you. God bless. I'm out. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you, callers. Appreciate the callers. Real quick, 2 high five fist bumps for all the callers. Very nice. Very nice of them to call in. Very nice. With that said, I'm out. Bye-bye.